If you feel like you're stuck in a mundane job, if you feel like health isn't improving as much as you'd like for it to, if you feel like you're not making the progress in life that you think you should, or if you're a mum who is at home and you feel like you're going through Groundhog Day again and again and again in this season of life, I want you to be encouraged by Noah, because we often think of Noah only as that righteous hero who jumps on an ark and jumps off on the other side of God's judgment and goes, hooray, I'm now the start of humanity. And it's powerful. It's a good picture for sure, but it's not wrong, but it misses so much of Noah's story. You see, we're talking about a man who must have spent decades, I think, on the long, arduous and painful task of hand sawing, debarking, shaping thousands upon thousands upon thousands of trees, to carrying what modern construction would say is probably around 3.1 million square feet of lumber. Why? So that he could build an ark that was big enough to hold the equivalent of 400 semi-trucks, enough to carry 100,000 lambs. We're talking about a man who would have pushed through aching muscles, who calloused hands, scorching heat, and let's be real, probably a desire to do anything else other than cut trees again for the 10th year in a row, for the 11th year in a row, for the 12th year in a row. He's probably sick of cutting down these trees, but he kept doing it. Why? Because he recognized that this was where God wanted him to be in this season. This is what a man called Friedrich Nietzsche once described as a long obedience in the same direction. Noah epitomizes that, a long obedience in the same direction. He's a man who recognized that sometimes God's call on our life isn't glamorous or spectacular. It's simply a long obedience in the same direction for God's glory, not for ours. Your situation might be mundane or difficult or challenging. It might feel that way. It might feel like you're living through Groundhog Day again and again, and you're waiting for that amazing, God moment that we see on Instagram or YouTube or all these things, these big moments. And actually, God's not bringing that for you. But we need to remember that God works miracles out of the seemingly mundane. He uses these quiet moments to achieve spectacular things. I think we need to have a long-term mindset of what God is doing in our midst. Sometimes for us, as it feels we're not maybe growing as fast as we would like, we've got to remember the Noahs of this world who persevered week after week, day after day, hour after hour, doing what God was calling them to do. And we believe that God will bring the outcome for his glory that he desires. Like Noah, we choose calling over curses when we pursue outrageous obedience in response to a holy, loving, gracious God. When we pray, your will be done, God. Your kingdom come, God, not ours.